I'm gonna do the first official open box review of the Elite Wheels disc wheel. And I got the rim brake version. This is not their top of the line. This is their older model with the, I think it's 18 millimeter internal rim width. So out of the box looks amazing. I will comment on the packaging really quickly that it came in perfect condition, very well wrapped. We got these flying saucers on both sides and then an additional wrap. So that in itself is nice, so not a scratch on the actual disc. And then the package itself came in from mainland China and then here to New York without any dents or anything. So it took about 2 weeks or so for it to actually get from company to here. So let's see. Yeah, those aren't scratches at all. That's just, I've been kind of working on the free hub. So I got the Shimano version, which is not for a through axle, but for a quick release. I'm just trying to spec my bike, which is a Canyon Speedmax, but the older model, 2018. And so I need the rim brake, for instance, and so I'm looking forward to doing a review later on how the braking and all that works too. Just because I'm doing everything on the cheap, which is why I'm going with Elite Wheels in the first place, is I'm switching my cassette over from my previous wheel to this wheel. So I'm comfortable, you know, getting cassette from one wheel to another. There's some simple tools you need. You are going to need one of these star keys. You are going to need this to keep your cassette from spinning. And then you're just gonna need this guy over here, which goes on the other end of your key. And you can see on these Shimano that some of these grooves are larger, and that's kind of your reference point, and so all of them are going to be based on that. And then they align a specific way on whichever one is also larger on here. All right, now I know that my largest one is right over here, so I'm going to do the same. So as you'll notice, that's a triple sprocket. This next one is a double sprocket. So here's my largest ring, so it's going to go relatively somewhere, yeah, right there. Bada boom. This is take two. So the first time I didn't quite thread this correctly. There shouldn't be any wiggle to the sprockets when you thread it on. And so I'm gonna do a quick check, make sure that this is solid on. It feels like there's no play here. All of the sprockets feel like they're aligned correct. So I'm gonna try to get this last piece on and then thread it. And I should be able to do it easily without feeling like I'm forcing anything or breaking a thread just to get it to thread. Let's see. There we go. I think I caught it correctly. Let's see, I didn't tighten it very hard yet, but it feels like those sprockets are in right. So I'm pretty confident now I can actually go for the tightening. All right. It's a little bit clicky, but I think that's good because it's threading and locking into the grooves, which are kind of built into that final piece here. All right, that's on. Nice clean cassette from my old wheel. Right here. Woo. So the existing tires I have on my old set of wheels are also Pirellis, but they are not tubeless. Even though my other wheels are Mavics and they are tubeless compatible, they're set up with tubes. So I'm not gonna switch them because I don't feel like paying for tires right now. But I did get a new tubeless tire for the new wheel, for the disc wheel. And so these are the Pirelli P0s. Make sure that they are tubeless compatible. You will see on the box, they will say tubeless ready. First things first, you just gotta get one lip on. Make sure you're doing it in the right direction. It says the rotation direction on there, and it's gonna go in that direction. When you're seating the first lip onto here for a tubeless tire, you gotta make sure that it goes over the valve so that it doesn't go on this side, but it goes directly on this side, and it's gonna fit snug in between there. So that's how you wanna start. Otherwise, you're never gonna be able to seat, which means seat your tire or inflate your tire with the sealant inside, because you're gonna have a air gap off the bat because the valve is on the wrong side. So that's my first recommendation there. Well, let's see if I can do this by hand. There we go. All right, I was able to do it by hand. So it's on there. All right, I am gonna get my levers for the next part though. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need them in a second. Now, if you wanted to seat the tire, you can use this guy, a little air compressor, but I'm gonna try it with my hand pump over here, so that's the plan. So the valve is over here, so I'm gonna leave a lip open over here in the bottom so I can put the sealant in. Alright, so now I have a little bit of a gap. I'm gonna put the sealant right in here. I'm gonna eyeball it just because I've done it so many times. But I think usually if you're gonna weigh it out, you do like 60 grams or so. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you really gotta make sure you shake up the stuff first, because otherwise the sealant's not gonna work properly. It's not gonna seal those punctures. Gonna let it run through to a part of the tire that's already has both walls of the tire in. And now I can work up the top. So I got my tire levers. There we go. It's all in there. Take a paper towel. Gonna wipe that up real quick. Not too bad, not too shabby. All right. Now comes the inflation. So, open this guy up. So it looks like we got a Presta valve. So that's good. Gonna loosen up the initial knob. This guy, and then this guy should go on this end over here. Ooh, nice and tight. Boom. Things are leaking a little bit. All right, 80. Let's see if I just seated everything in general really quick. All right, I'm not losing any air. All right, let's tighten that Presta valve. All right, if I press it, there's nothing leaking out, so I gotta tighten. Just gonna clean up some of that sealant. Cool. I think that's pretty good. I don't know. I got 25s on here. 25s look extremely aerodynamic. All right, that's for the camera with one hand. I'm gonna take it off and do it again and make it perfect. And then clean it up for my greasy hands. But yeah, super nice. Velcro does a good job. Cool. Hey, seems pretty good. Just gotta grease her up. Good to